Hey, welcome back to Summit Sunrise. You guys keep doing this to me. Seriously, seriously. Apparently Aaron likes the one shot, so we're gonna go with the one shot. It's totally Monday morning. All right, I'm here with Brian, and we are talking about something that's a little bit different than what you might have heard recently. And he's from Summit Public Radio. Now, I understand you guys have a big announcement, and you're gonna make it right now. So what's going on, Brian?
Well, thanks, Ashley. Yeah, no, we're pretty happy and excited to announce that Summit Public Radio is now broadcasting television, free over-the-air television, digitally. We just started a couple weeks ago broadcasting the ABC and NBC stations out of Denver, free over-the-air as digital television instead of the old analog television.
All right, so if somebody, let's say they're like, okay, this is great, so I get free TV, awesome. How exactly do they get this service?
Sure, it's a little bit different than it used to be. There's two things you need for sure, and maybe one optional thing. For sure, you need a direct line of sight to Bald Mountain. Our transmitter is located on Baldy. That's that big mountain just outside of Breck.
Right.
So you kind of have to imagine if you have a TV wherever that is in your house that you could draw a line to Bald Mountain. So as long as there's no big mountains or big buildings in the way, you'll probably get the signal. Secondly, and this is more important, you need a either digital ready TV. Most new TVs over the last couple of years are already digital ready. Or you got to get one of these analog to digital converter boxes. You might remember last year there was all this buzz first half of the year. Government's telling everybody, get these boxes, you know, in case when the time comes and it switches to digital. You may need one of those if you have an older TV. The good news is I've been around town, I've been around Summit County, and any place that sells TVs these days still has the converter boxes if you need one.
All right, so that's pretty good. So chances are if you live over in Silverthorne or Dillon, probably not going to be able to get it. Maybe.
It depends. It really is. If you can see Baldy, literally, if wherever your TV is, if you can see Baldy. In some cases, what might happen is you'll need an internal or an external antenna if the signal's kind of weak. Or, for example, you could see it, let's say, from the roof of your house, but not maybe down in the basement where your TV is. So what we do offer as a service, which is pretty cool, is on our website, if you go there, there's a phone number you can call, and if you want, our chief engineer, Gary, will come out to your house with an appointment and check the strength of your signal. So if you don't want to invest in one of these converter boxes or perhaps buy invest in a new TV before you know whether it's going to work, we can come out and test that for you and tell you what you're going to need.
Wow, that's a pretty incredible service. All right. So if people want to get that number off your website, what's your website?
Oh, it's summitpublicradio.org.
All right, so that's easy enough, right?
We also have a link there to the government's website, dtv.gov.
Okay.
And that's a great site for the latest information about all this stuff.
Okay, and then does it compete with like cable and satellite? Like, how does that work?
Well, we really don't think so. I think it'd be a pretty rare case where somebody would say, geez, it's free over the air, handful of channels versus 147 cable channels or satellite and high definition and all that. We don't see those being comparable at all. But honestly, what we're doing as a public service is trying to provide something for those folks who simply are giving up their cable or their satellite to make ends meet. I mean, times have been pretty tough on all of us locals over the last couple of years, and for those folks who don't want to give up their cable or satellite but have to, we just want them to know, hey, there is still free television out there. It's not very many channels at this point, but there is something out there.
And I mean, let's be honest, as long as you have TV 8 and I think channel 26, that's really all you need,
That's true.
That's really, I mean, come on. Who needs
I don't even know why we picked ABC and NBC. I mean, I don't know.
Seriously, Brian. But I'm sorry, Aaron, what? You can get us on 26 on analog. I'm supposed to tell you that. Okay, so anyway, where are you guys going next? Are you guys going to acquire some more channels like 26 and 8, Brian?
Well, for sure what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks, as I said, we're already doing ABC and NBC. We're going to add CBS and PBS, the Denver stations, and we're going to add a 24-hour audio news feed, where there's no picture, but you can hear news 24/7. After that, I think we're going to let the community tell us where we should go next. We can add more channels. We have the licenses to do that. There's some folks who'd say, well, if you just look at basic TV, Fox is probably now considered a basic channel. We'd definitely like to do local stuff like TV8.
Of course you do.
I'd really, really like to do that. Maybe 24-hour weather. Another complementary channel might be Telemundo. We broadcast KQSE in Summit County, which is the all-Spanish news and music station. That might be a nice complement to that. The other way we could go, other than just adding channels, is we could also do high-definition television. We don't do that yet because it takes, like several channels worth of regular TV is equivalent to a HD channel. So we don't want to use up our bandwidth that way. But if the community really wants us to go there, we'll take a serious look at it.
All right. Well, let them know what you want out there, and again, the website is summitpublicradio.org if you'd like more information or to get those contact information numbers. And thanks so much, Brian, for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having us. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, as long as 8 and 26 land on there. Just saying, Brian. All right. So before we go to break, here's a look at one of our favorite places to go do a little dining while you're here in Summit County.